So I'll take you back through a couple of my jobs during school,
Okay.
which was, I worked at a restaurant, bussing tables, and
Hmm.
I worked at this restaurant slash bar, and same thing, just stocking and cleaning bathrooms at the end of the night at 2 a.m. and all that. So kind of at that time I was like, I'll work. I just need some
Hmm.
money. And at the Citadel during the year, you really couldn't work. You're not allowed to because you're at school. The only thing you can do is like intramural or referee and stuff like that. But you can't because you're there and it's a military
Yep.
setting. You're not able. So summers is where I had to make some money so I could have spending money
Yeah,
during
yeah.
during the year. So I did some of that. But then, my senior year in college, early on that year, in the fall of my senior year, I was just applying to jobs, and I get this offer to work for a precast company in Greenville, South Carolina. And then, so I have a job early on. I'm kind of like, okay, I'm set. I'm getting, I'll graduate, go do that. And just a few weeks before I graduate, I get a call from them that says, hey, things have changed and we're just really not bringing new engineers in this year. So, and I think about this frequently because, again, I just put faith in that God had a greater plan, because then what happens is I graduate, I don't have a job. I go back to Venezuela for a few weeks, just really see my friends, my family, and then I come back after
Hmm.
3 or 4 weeks, and I go to the career center at the Citadel to see if they could help me, just to look through there. And as I'm searching for jobs, I see this opening for in a name attached to it, which was the last name of one of my friends from college. And so I recognized the name, and I call him and I said, hey, is any relation? He's like, yeah, it's my dad. He's up in
No
Baltimore
way.
and runs this construction business. He was one of the executives at this very large company. And I said, well, do you think you could make the introduction? He said, sure. So I, just a few days later, go up to this job interview and basically get a job. In that same week, I meet my now wife. So I meet
No
her.
way.
I go to this job interview. She comes up with me. I convince her to come up with me, and and I go to this interview in Baltimore. And then my parents are actually out of the country during this time. I was living for those few weeks at home, and anyway, I get this job offer, and I get a U-Haul and pack the few things I own, which were not many. And I moved to Salisbury, Maryland, started working for this construction company, a very large French-owned company,
Yeah.
but they operate in local areas in the U.S. So got a job with them, and I was with them for 17 years.